state capitol, where today began the first session of the 59th Oklahoma legislature. What certain bills discussed today could mean for the transgender community and medical professionals.
Plus, coming up, I will be speaking with several Oklahomans about what their future plans are in regards of these bills.
And Governor Kevin Stitt gave his first State of the State address since re-election. What did he have to say to Oklahomans? We have all that and more right here on this first edition of the year of UCentral News. And welcome back, Broncos, to another semester of UCentral News. I'm Brady Gray.
And I'm Eden Jones. We are so happy to be back in the studio, but a lot has happened at the state capitol today.
That's right. Governor Kevin Stitt gave his first State of the State address earlier today at the Capitol. His first since re-election last November. Governor Stitt went over several points concerning Oklahomans, most notably cutting taxes and making Oklahoma the most pro-family state in the country.
In my executive budget, I am proposing to eliminate Oklahoma's state grocery tax and reduce our personal income tax rate to 3.99%. I want Oklahoma to have a conversation about how we can become the most pro-family state. In my view, fatherhood is an important piece of that puzzle. 1 out of every 4 kids in America is living without a father in the home. And even those with a father, they're being let down. We must protect our most vulnerable, our children. After all, minors can't vote, can't purchase alcohol, can't purchase cigarettes. We shouldn't allow a minor to get a permanent gender-altering surgery in Oklahoma. That's why I'm calling for the legislature to send me a bill that bans all gender transition surgeries and hormone therapies on minors in the state of Oklahoma.
And I was at the state capitol where I got to speak with someone directly affected by those bills Governor Stitt mentioned. Here's what they had to say.
A new pair of bills would make it a felony in Oklahoma to provide gender transition services for young adults. Legislation was discussed today at the state capitol, and also at the state capitol, a roaring crowd of supporters and members of the trans community using their voice. Senate Bill 129, also known as the Millstone Act of 2023, and House Bill 1011 were 2 of those bills discussed. Proposed by Senator David Bullard, Senate Bill 129 looks to ban transition services including gender-affirming surgery, puberty blockers, or use of hormonal treatments in Oklahoma for individuals under the age of 26 before they are at their complete cognitive development. Also under this act, if any facility provides transition services despite payment method, the facility will no longer receive Medicaid funds. Representative Jim Olson filed an almost identical bill. House Bill 1011 prohibits healthcare professionals from providing medical care for trans youth and makes the procedures illegal for anyone younger than 21. While this greatly affects the transgender community, this also creates harsh consequences for Oklahoma doctors. Those who violate Senate Bill 129 face felony charges and the loss of their medical license. House Bill 1011 includes 10 years imprisonment and a $100,000 fine for those found guilty. If passed, these bills prohibit transgender youth and people well into adulthood. Cloetta started her transition when she was 13, so she knows firsthand the struggles of how it is to grow up trans in Oklahoma.
Personally, for me, as somebody who has gone through the queer struggle as a child, knew who I was as a child, and was very, very assured to the point that now, as a 24-year-old, nothing has changed. A lot of people saying that there's decision-making that they have to do on my part.
Now, with the proposal of these bills, Cloetta expressed her concern for trans youth.
Just because they are adolescent, just because they are not fully developed mentally, does not mean that they do not understand things like gender expression, self-expression, or who they are as a core person.
And in regard to Oklahoma legislators, she has one simple proposition.
Just let the equality happen. Stop spitting at something that you might not like and just let it happen.
In Oklahoma City, Eden Jones, UCentral News.
And while UCentral was at the Capitol, our own reporter Kendall Walton also went on the street to speak with the demonstrators. Here's what she found.
As the state legislation session began today, many Oklahomans gathered outside the Capitol to protest several controversial state bills targeting transgender health care. While many hope the bills aren't presented on the floor, some remain nervous and plan to move out of state or seek health care elsewhere. However, one demonstrator who didn't want to be identified said his family has no choice but to stay.
For my family, we're not going anywhere. We're here. And there's a lot of people who can either move out of state or do something more drastic. My son is almost 15, and until he graduates high school, he's not going to be able to go anywhere. And
Throughout the crowd today, many talked of future uncertainty and the potential for a pharmaceutical black market, with other states like California and Minnesota presenting bills to create safe havens for trans people. Some of the gatherers discussed the possibility of moving out of state. As you can see behind me, several members of the LGBT community and allies have gathered here at the state capitol today to protest several controversial LGBT bills targeted towards healthcare that are supposed to be read on the legislation floor, as well as Governor Stitt's State of the State address. While many people here feel stressed and very tense, one Oklahoma lawyer is hoping to change that mood. Brittany Novotny, an Oklahoma City lawyer, has created the Securing Liberty PAC that would battle the bills that would make it onto the floor and into the voting chambers. Novotny is hopeful these won't pass and wants people to know there is a long process and many of them won't make it through the whole thing.
The opening day of session, there's the quote unquote reading of the bills. Most of them won't actually be read fully. It's more of a procedural hoop that they go through to technically introduce the legislation. And then the leadership on each, the House and Senate side, will then start assigning the bills out to committees. And they'll actually be heard in committee first. So nothing will be voted on by the entire body at all.
While these controversial bills scare many people, it is still uncertain whether or not these bills will make it to committee chambers, then onward for their respective houses and Senate votes. We will keep you updated as more information is released. Here at the Oklahoma State Capitol, I'm Kendall Walton, UCentral News.
And the weather while I was at the state capitol was a little bit chilly today, but felt a lot better than last week. We're going to toss it to our weather anchor, Destiny Pittman, for our first look. Destiny?
Good evening, everyone. So I'm just here to give you some of your weather updates for today. So we'll start with today. So currently it is 69 degrees outside. So it's finally warm out. It feels like spring is coming and it looks like there's not going to be any more ice or sleet. So it's pretty warm. And then it is partially sunny. There are a few clouds in the sky, but it's still a lot better than it's been the past few days. And then today the winds are blowing south at 16 miles per hour. So nothing too fast, just like average winds here. And then the humidity rate is 51% right now, and it feels like 69 degrees. Like I said, it feels like spring is coming. And then tonight, the temperature will be dropping a little, not a ton, just like a few degrees. It's going to be 56 degrees out, and then the skies are going to be clear. So that's nice. It's going to feel like a nice spring night. And then the winds are going to be about the same, still going about south at 17 miles per hour. And then the humidity rate will raise today, so it's going to be about 83% tonight. And then there is a 50% chance of rain tonight. That's all for now. Thank you. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Destiny. And February is Black History Month, and the kickoff event happened earlier today on campus. The Office of Diversity and Inclusion, along with the Black Student Association, held the event in the Nye Ballrooms. It featured performances from UCO students and a keynote speaker, Dr. Frederick Hammond. It was one of many opportunities for the Black community on campus to come together and celebrate their heritage. The event closed with a small award ceremony to recognize the impactful Black leaders on campus.
And we need your help finding the East Side Pizza House boombox. The boombox was used as a part of a display while East Side Pizza House was serving pizza at an event, but before it could be returned, it was stolen. The boombox was custom made by Oklahoma City's DD Audio to celebrate the opening of East Side Pizza House. East Side Pizza House owner J.B. Williams is offering a $500 reward to find the thief and a $500 reward for the return of the boombox.
An Oklahoma federal judge ruled that a federal law prohibiting people who use marijuana from owning firearms is unconstitutional. This is the latest challenge to the firearms regulations after the U.S. Supreme Court's conservative majority set new standards for reviewing the nation's gun laws. The ruling came a day after a three-judge panel of the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans ruled that the government cannot stop people who have domestic violence restraining orders against them from owning guns. And the weather outside, not too terrible today, but Destiny's going to have much more of a look on the other side. Keep it here, Broncos.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
So welcome back, Broncos. I'm just going to be here to give you your 7-day forecast. We'll start with yesterday. So yesterday, it was pretty warm. It was really where the weather started to pick up. So it was 66 degrees yesterday, and it was mainly sunny all day, so that was really nice. Like I said earlier, it's starting to feel like spring is coming. And then if you wanted to be out and about outside, today was the day to do that because the high today was 70 degrees, and it stayed in the high 60s most of the day. There were a few clouds, but like in a slight wind, but nothing too bad. And then tomorrow it is going to start some rain, so it looks like the warm weather is going to be going away for just a little bit. And it's supposed to rain most of the day, and the high will be about 45 degrees. And then Wednesday is also going to be another cloudy day. It's going to be a little humid out, and the high is going to be 50 degrees. And then this weekend is going to be pretty warm. Friday and Saturday are going to be 47 degrees and 54 degrees, and then Thursday will be 52 degrees. So that's all I have for now. Back to you guys at the desk. Thank you.
Thank you, Destiny. And coming up, Queen Bee makes history at last night's Grammys, and a new AI is shaking up the tech world. CJ Craig has social media coming up next. Stay tuned.
Raised to believe in the power of possibility, to always move forward but never forget where I came from, to value hard work, ingenuity, and hospitality. On one hand, my people are rough and rugged. On the other, refined and elegant. They taught me how to love beautiful things and cherish my past, to seek out adventure, eat well, and to have a good time. So I keep their traditions alive every place I go. They call me Oklahoma City, but you can call me the modern frontier.
UCentral News as a whole, you got to be in those different areas, like being on camera, being off camera, being in the control room. And so I feel like that is what prepared me most about being in the workplace.
UCentral and the mass comm department has provided me all the tools and the fundamentals that are needed in order to thrive well and thrive fast at my job.
Maybe it's time to hit the road and visit a place where stories unfold. This is the land of the ultimate road trip, with sights old and new on Route 66. There's fun to be had, so much to do, and a few new surprises before you get through. Oklahoma has the most miles to share of Route 66. It's really quite rare. TravelOK.com will show you the way. Come see for yourself this iconic highway.
Welcome back, Broncos. I'm CJ Craig, and I'm here with your social media recap. Let's get right into it. And Americans everywhere are sharing their input about the Chinese spy balloons that were found over Montana and South Carolina last week. The balloon over South Carolina was shot down by U.S. aircraft on Saturday, and videos of the explosion were posted all over social media. Social media users had many different explanations for the balloon, ranging from international espionage to an out-of-control weather balloon. The Pentagon has not determined the purpose of the balloons as of this moment. And in music news, Beyoncé became the most decorated artist in Grammy's history last night as she brought home 4 more awards to add to her collection. Queen Bee's trophy case grew to a total of 32 trophies last night as she brought home awards for Best R&B Song, Best Dance Recording, Best Traditional R&B Performance, and Best Dance and Electronic Album. Many fans were shocked that Beyoncé did not win Album of the Year for her album Renaissance. However, that award went to Harry Styles for his album Harry's House. And in some gaming news, Blizzard has a surprise for some anime and gaming fans. Overwatch 2 will feature a collaboration with the anime One Punch Man in their Season 3. The collaboration will feature a new skin for the character Doomfist based off of Saitama from One Punch Man. This opens the door for more collaboration possibilities in the future and is the first collaboration in Overwatch's 6-year history. Overwatch's Season 3 will start tomorrow, and the skin will be available for purchase from March 7th to April 6th. And Google has announced their own conversational AI program is in development. Bard is a brand new AI from Google and seeks to be a competitor for the Microsoft-owned ChatGPT. Google CEO Sundar Pichai says Bard can be an outlet for creativity and that it draws on the information from the web to provide fresh, high-quality responses. Bard's announcement shook up the tech world as Google's surprise announcement was seen as a rushed and untested attempt to compete with Microsoft. The program was sent out today to a few private testers and will be more available to the public within the next coming weeks. And finally, Netflix is cracking down on password sharing. The streaming service accidentally posted password sharing guidelines on their Help Center website on Wednesday, and subscribers aren't happy about the proposed changes. Users in the same household would only be able to access their Netflix accounts on their home Wi-Fi network. Subscribers will need to request a temporary 7-day access code if they want to use their account outside of their home network. And this could mean some problems for students who are off at college who share an account with their parents, as they would no longer be able to access their Netflix accounts while they're at school. And obviously, this deal with Netflix is a huge deal. I know I use Netflix all the time off of my mom's account, and I'm not entirely excited about having to start paying $20 a month for Netflix for my own personal account. What do you guys think about that?
I'm in full agreement for sure, CJ. I don't use Netflix a ton, thankfully. I'm more on the Hulu side of things. I don't know about you, Eden, but not really for me on the Netflix.
Oh, no, I, for one, am a big Netflix junkie, currently watching Ginny and Georgia. Love it. I'm on my mom's Netflix account, so this definitely affects me. But back on campus, UCO basketball played at home over the weekend.
Yep, and that's right. And the NFL season's coming to an end here shortly. Super Bowl Sunday is around the corner. Jaden Ford has more in sports coming up next. Stay tuned.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit. Shaboom! Use STEM to envision... Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah. Invent...
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually. And create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at SheCanSTEM.
In the land of wonder and awe, you won't believe you see what you saw. Where there's something to do for young and for old, where stories are written and then they're retold. Visit Travelok.com today. Come see for yourself and come out to play.
Welcome back, Broncos. I'm Jaden Ford, and this is your Monday Sports Report. The UCO men's basketball team has been playing strong all year and continued that this past Saturday against Fort Hays State University. Central won the game 66-51 thanks to great defense. Head coach Bob Hoffman said, "I thought our rotations were really good. It's never going to be easy, and I think we came out with a good win." Sophomore guard Jaden Wells led the way in scoring with 22 points and also let the team down and with 9 rebounds. The Broncos do not return to action until next Saturday when they go to Topeka, Kansas to take on Washburn. And the match is set and the Super Bowl week is here. The Eagles and Chiefs landed in Arizona last night ahead of today's opening night media day. There will be multiple storylines coming from all sides, but the historic one comes from the quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes are 2 of the youngest players that ever started quarterback in a Super Bowl, but more importantly, they are also the first black quarterbacks to do it in the game's history. Be sure to tune in. You can catch the game this Sunday on Fox at 5:30 p.m. And LeBron James finished with 27 points in the Los Angeles Lakers' 131-126 loss to the New Orleans Pelicans, leaving the 38-year-old only 36 points away from surpassing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's NBA all-time scoring record. The record currently stands at 38,000 points and has stood for nearly 39 years. LeBron James and the Oklahoma City Thunder face off tomorrow in downtown LA, and many people are hoping they could break the record on his home court versus the Thunder. Wouldn't that be a great storyline? You can catch that game at 9 p.m. TNT Network. In the NBA All-Star guard, Kyrie Irving has been officially traded. And I'm sorry, Lakers fans, he's not coming to LA this time. Irving will be taking his talents to the Dallas Mavericks to pair with Luka Doncic. This star-studded duo has the potential to do great things if Irving can stay on the court. Kyrie Irving is leaving the Nets after a short but controversial stay. Last season, Irving refused to take COVID-19 vaccines, causing him to miss most of the season because he could not play in home games without being vaccinated. And the 2023 Pro Bowl games have placed more emphasis on games this year than ever before. The NFL decided to abandon the previous format of playing an exhibition football game in recent years. The Pro Bowl has become more of a watered-down version of what we see during the regular season, and fans are ready for a change. The NFL Pro Bowl games included dodgeball, flag football, and multiple skills competitions. It was a close battle throughout the 2-day event, with both teams going back and forth, and until the final game, Eli Manning and the NFC pulled out a victory. That is all I have today for sports. Toss it back to the desk.
Thank you, Jaden. And Super Bowl, my favorite holiday every single year, right around the corner.
It's up there.
You got the star power of Kansas City with probably the best roster in football in Philly.
We do.
I am rooting for the Eagles in this
I'd have to disagree.
Oh, well,
I'm rooting for the Chiefs. I don't know. It's just, they're just underdogs. I think they got it in the bag.
For the first time, I think they're underdogs in the past recent history, at least.
I guess we'll see. But when we come back, Destiny's going to give us our last weather look, so stay tuned.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back, guys. So before the show ends, I'm just here to give you your final weather updates. So first, like I said earlier, there is a chance of rain before 9 p.m. tonight. The chance is about 50%, and it's mainly expected to hit between 9 p.m. and 3 a.m. So it's going to be a little rainy. And then tomorrow, it is going to be rainy most of the day. There's a really high percentage of, a really high chance of rain. Starting in the afternoon. It's going to continue on until the evening. So like I said earlier, if you planned on doing something outside, today was the day to do that. But that's okay, because tomorrow, after tomorrow, everything's going to be going back to normal, and the temperatures are going to start warming up again. In honor of Black History Month, I do have a fun fact for Black History Month. So did you know that peanut butter was actually created by a Black man? That's all I have for now. Back to you guys at the desk.
All right, thank you so much, Destiny. And I don't know about you, but seeing the rain really, it made my heart kind of hurt after the pretty weather we've been having.
Oh yeah, no, I got my golfing in over the weekend, thankfully. That being said, I got to pull out my rainy day shoes. I can't wear my normal kicks that I like to wear throughout the rest of the week, but that weather, it's definitely going to be something to keep an eye on. Thankfully for the Super Bowl coming up, they're in Arizona, so they have the dome over the stadium. It's not going to be a huge deal. But for the spectators there at the Super Bowl, it's going to be a tough deal. No kidding.
Yeah,
if
definitely
the rain rolls through the desert there in Arizona.
Yeah, keep your eye on that.
You have any Super Bowl plans coming up for Sunday?
I am actually going to have a little Super Bowl party with my friends.
So are we.
They're making nachos.
We're going to
What about
have the whole spread. It's going to be a good time. But the weather, it's not going to be a too terribly bad thing in the desert. It shouldn't be too bad.
It won't be too bad when the Chiefs win.
It's a dry heat down there. I think Philly might wipe the floor with them so they don't need any rain rags or anything like that to go through for the rest of the weekend and get us shoved out the door for the rest of the 2023 season.
I guess we'll see who comes out on top. I'm so excited. But that's all the time that we have for today. Thank you for joining us. I'm Eden Jones.
Yep. Thank you so much for joining us, Broncos, and thank you to all of our crew on this first show of 2023. Woo! I'm Brady Gray. We'll see you next time.